Welcome back live to the Sports Call, everyone. Bob Pompiani here with you until 11 o'clock. Join us tonight for the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. On my panel tonight, it will be Ron Cook, Chris Muller, and Will Graves. And we'll get into a lot of these very same topics. We'll also delve into the Penguins and the Pitt Panthers, who lost a game, lost a quarterback. And the question tonight will be, will they become bowl eligible, or will their 9-year streak of going to bowl games end? They have to get to 6 wins. They have 6 games left, but a lot of them are against pretty good ACC teams. And the way Pitt has played, you wonder if that's at all possible. Let's go to line 1. David in the South Side. Hello, David.
Yeah, how's everybody?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I just wanted to make one statement, and that is, I was a franchise quarterback who has been in the league for 14, 15 years, a veteran, who has won 2 Super Bowls, several division crowns, throw 5 interceptions in one game.
You watched the game, right?
Is he taking his focus off of who he's throwing it, or is he just making wrong decisions?
Well, I think he's focused in, and he's
sometimes it's best just to throw the ball away, because at least you got another down to go to.
I understand that, but if you look and break them all down, thanks for the call. Number 1, Jalen Ramsey, who may be the best cover corner in the league right now that nobody's talking about, showed you why. He's had a really strong first 4 weeks. He had a strong 5th week today, and that first one was, it was slightly behind Vance McDonald, but he closed quickly, made the interception. To me, I chalk that up on a very good defensive play. There was one that was a first pick 6 to Telvin Smith, I think it was, 28 yards, where it was batted at the line of scrimmage, changed directions. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm saying in this kind of game, things like this happen. This is the first time in his career he's thrown 5, no doubt. A lot of people will wonder at this point, has Ben, who's taken a lot of abuse over his days in the NFL, more early in his career than recently, but still, after a while, it does. And I think the other thing is we get spoiled here talking about guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. These are 2 rare exceptions. You see Brady operating at age 40. That is an aberration in many ways. You're not going to see how many quarterbacks go that long at that effective. He is a rare breed there. So I think 35, it used to be 34, 35, 36, people start talking that way. So it could just be that time is taking a toll on, Ben Roethlisberger's. He's not what he once was. Nobody in the NFL ever is. Time takes a hold of you there. So I still think he can be effective. And I know one thing about Ben Roethlisberger. He's a very competitive guy. I know that from a lot of different fronts. And I can tell you that I wouldn't be surprised next week if he comes out and has a really good bounce-back game. But it happens, and this is the situation they're in. John and White Oak, you're next. Go ahead.
Hey, Bob, I have total respect for you. Give me a minute to make a couple of points.
Okay.
Number one, we can't blame this on the team, the receivers, our backs. Doing the same thing over and over again is a definition of insanity. I know the game. I was a linebacker and I was a fullback. If I'm playing behind Hokie and I see a one-back offense, I'm going to split the gap, and Bell's not going to do a thing. You spread that out. You play a soft zone. You can't get it. He's leaving so many plays off the book. I've not seen Todd Haley do a crossfire using a fullback, a power eye, or running in a pro set since in the last 3 years I've been preaching that. Now, I'm not saying that the game hasn't changed and you shouldn't do that. But if you look at the games that the people are winning today, they're running it down your throats. They're getting a hat on the if your offensive line cannot get to the second level, you got to bring more people.
And that's been a problem. You're absolutely right. They haven't gotten to the second level. At least they didn't today. I thought last week they did a better job. And my take on all of this is, and thanks very much for the call. I appreciate your perspective. Last week in Baltimore, they made it their mission to go in there and run that ball, even if there weren't a lot of openings early in the game, and there weren't. There were some modest numbers to start with, but they made a commitment. They kept doing it, and finally it had dividends, and Bell rushed for 144 yards. Now, you would have thought today that they would do that against this team, Jacksonville, which has had its problems stopping the run. If you watch their game against the Jets last week, the Jets owned them on the ground. They had 2 big runs. They had well over 250 yards rushing. The Steelers should have come out with that mindset first. Roosevelt Nix has been in the backfield. He wasn't a lot today, but he's been in the past. I was just surprised they chose that game plan for this particular team. Let's go to Jim and Shaler. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
What's up?
Hey, I talk to you a lot. Just want to let you know the media and like CBS and NFL Network, they're really down on Ben. They're really saying a lot of things about him, how he lost
I've listened,
the
yes.
Steelers.
I saw.
And with the Pittsburgh media is, I never see it like yourself. You know, I talk to you all the time, so don't take it personally. Or Ron Cook or anybody say anything about Ben. I mean, I know you guys got to work with him and talk with him, but if it's Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell, you guys are all over them.
Wait a minute. Wait. What are you talking about all over them? I wasn't all over anything. I think Le'Veon Bell has been terrific last year especially. I didn't like the fact that he waited until when he did to come in. I was against that.
Right.
But, I mean, that's not being all over. That's just calling it. And as I said, I think Ben was way off. I thought he's been way off all season, not his best season. But I don't, I think what people who call in want us to bury people all the time, and that's just not what good does that do? That's not going to change anything, and why do you want to do it? It's an easy, it's a low-hanging fruit approach. I'm not going to do that. I respect the process too much, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if Roethlisberger came back last week or next week and has a very good day. Look around the league. You can tell me what you see from some of these people, not just Ben Roethlisberger.
But Ben's been off, but he's been off all year.
I know that, and that's what I said in our postgame show.
And the Steelers, I don't know why they're falling in love with the deep pass. They're not playing, you're not giving the ball to Bell the way they should.
Right.
You know, they're paying him $14-15 million.
12.
They're not giving him the ball. I mean, I think you know, we're always on the Pirates big time, and it's
there's reason for that.
You got to get on. You got to get on them a little bit.
They're still at first place, though. I don't know. Again, what do you want me to do? If you listen to our postgame show, we were negative today because they deserve to be treated that way. They were not good in a lot of different facets. But again, I'm not going to turn it into a mudslinging event. I don't think if that's what people want, is that the cool thing to do today? To do that? What good does that do? And what if they respond next week and have a good week? Then what?
Well, let's hope they do, because Kansas City looks really good against
They do.
And they might be the team to beat in AFC right now.
All right, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go out to line 3. That's John of Green Tree. Hey, John.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man. How you doing, man? How you doing tonight?
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, man? Why did we lose to Jacksonville? Jacksonville, man.
You saw the game, Johnny, and you know the result. We lost because there were turnovers, to categorize it that way. I mean, you can't make 5 turnovers. All interceptions, 2 returns. That's your answer. Let's go out to Dan in Greensburg real quick. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Good, Bob. How are you tonight?
Okay, thank you.
You know what? This was supposed to be a high-power offense that was going to score 30-plus points a game.
Yes.
I guess my question at this point, I mean, obviously they're underachieving, but are they overrated or overconfident?
I think they're underachieving, to use your term. I think that's a good way to describe it. They're not doing anything what they should be today. For example, you get into red zone 3 times, even if you face a good defense, and I think that team has some very good defensive players on it. You got to be able to put the ball in. I think the play calling down there was a little suspect. Again, I didn't like the game plan starting this game, me, myself, personally there, but all season long, they've been sporadic. They haven't been good enough. You haven't seen beyond Antonio Brown's statistics. You haven't seen much for Martavis Bryant. This is a guy I expect by week 5. I was willing to give him a couple of days to get his feet wet because he hasn't played in a year, but I expected more from him. I expect more. Eli Rogers has been scratched. Justin Hunter has made the team, haven't used him too much. Tight ends here and there, scattered. There's not a lot of consistent production beyond Antonio Brown. Now, is that Roethlisberger focusing on him? Or if you look at the game films from the coaches' films, you'll notice some of these guys aren't open. So there's got to be some separation. I think it's a complex thing right now. They got to figure it out, and they have a tough 3-game stretch coming up to do so. We got to take a break. Duke, Frank, and Dan all coming up next right here on Pittsburgh CW.